Good morning, everybody. This is Baby Artsplay with the Ogden Museum as our partner, and I am Miss Nanette from Young Audiences of Louisiana. Today, our lesson is called My Body. As your child is developing and your infant is growing and learning things from powers of observation, they need to develop a sense of body awareness. So the exercises that we're going to be doing today and the songs will help you to have a fun activities with your child to promote this learning. Okay, so we have a painting also to look at. It's called Popeye, and it's by a New Orleans artist named Roy Ferdinand. And Roy Ferdinand left this world in 2004, and he lived in the lower ninth for most of his life. Sometimes he was homeless. So his artwork tends to revolve more around the characters and the people that he knew in his neighborhood or in his mother's neighborhood, because he stayed with her sometimes. And this guy is holding a skateboard. And his story is that he was called the Skateboard King, Popeye the Skateboard King. And I thought that his expression was interesting because he looked kind of sad. And normally we would think skateboarding is a fun activity. But his impression, Mr. Ferdinand said that he thinks that maybe he's just disappointed with how things turned out. And as I look at the skateboard, I'm wondering, who knows what's the most important part of your body when you ride a skateboard? You would think maybe your feet, right? But when you ride a skateboard, you have to use your whole body because your arms help you to balance quite a bit. Of course, you have to look where you're going, so you're using your eyes a lot and listen for traffic or for people shouting out to you in the neighborhood. So it's kind of a full body experience riding a skateboard. And it can be fun too, especially if you're really good at it. I am not that good at skateboarding. But Popeye was famous for this. So this is one of the many portraits that Mr. Ferdinand did. And most of them are done with some sort of paint, oil paint or acrylics or whatever he could get. And some of them are on paper, some of them are on cardboard. But because he was homeless a lot, he didn't have a lot of money for art supplies, as you can imagine. So he just worked with whatever he had. He made an improvisation. So that's the story of this painting. And if you want to look online about some of his other work, it's very interesting. He has a lot of local people, and also the settings are like, this is of the neighborhood, I guess, where his mother lives. So you can see a lot of New Orleans historical buildings in some of his paintings too. So now let us talk about body awareness. So first you have to learn the names of the parts of our body. So we're going to do a song today, right now, that will go through several of the parts of the body with a steady beat, because that's what we like to use in Wolf Trap and Baby Artsplay. Okay, so we're going to start with our head. We're going to go down to our shoulders. We're going to touch our elbows. Then we're going to clap our hands, put our hands on our knees, and then we're going to tap our toes and tap maybe our nose too. Okay? So the song goes like this. It's called Give Me That Beat. And we're going to do a steady beat on our knees like this. All right? So give me the beat, beat, beat. Give me the beat, beat, beat. Give me the beat, give me the beat, give me the beat, beat, beat. Put the beat on your head. That's it. Tap your head with your hands. Tap your head, tap your head, tap your head. Tap your shoulders. We have two shoulders, a right and a left shoulder. Shoulders, tap your shoulders. Let's do our elbows. Tap your elbows. Tap your elbows, tap your elbows, tap your elbows. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Great. Tap your knees. tap your knees. Tap your knees, tap your knees, tap your knees. Let's touch our toes. Tap your toes. Tap your toes. Tap your toes, tap your toes, tap your toes. Tap your nose with one finger. Tap your nose. Tap your nose, tap your nose, tap your nose. Give me the beat, beat, beat. Give me that beat, beat, beat. Give me the beat, give me the beat, give me the beat, beat, beat. And give yourself a big round of applause. So that's a song that I like to use. You can change up the body parts. And if your child is not walking yet, you can sit on the floor with your child either in your lap or facing you and do the movements for them. So that's always a good idea. And always name them as you're going through the body parts, right? Just like when we're getting dressed in the morning. You can say, okay, your shirt goes over your head onto your body, your shoulders, and your arms go through the sleeves. Our pants we put on, pulling up from our feet all the way up to our hips, you know, and so on. So whatever they're wearing, dress, always naming the body parts that go with it. So learning the body parts is important, but also we are still, some of us, not washing our hands enough. I heard this on the news the other day. And so one good way of doing it for 20 seconds, because we still need to be doing that at least 6 or 7 times a day, right, is the ABC song, or Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So as you're washing hands together, you can sing one of those 2 songs. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? All nice and clean. Yeah, very important to remember to do that. So speaking of washing, on the card that you have received, there is a song called the Bath Song. Now, this is a song that you can do while you're taking a bath. And if you have some fun bath toys, rubber ducky, my little froggy, some of these guys come with little sponges underneath. I couldn't find mine. I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, so you can sing, this is how we take a bath, take a bath, take a bath. This is how we take a bath every day. This is how we wash our face, wash our face, wash our face. This is how we wash our face. Don't forget your ears. This is how we wash our hair, wash our hair, wash our hair. This is how we wash our hair all the time. Yeah, and so on through the body parts. Songs always make things go a little easier, I think. And speaking of rubber ducky, I have a song that I really like that I'm going to do with you right now. You may remember this if you've ever watched Sesame Street. Rubber ducky, you're so fine, and I'm happy that you're mine. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you and you and you. When we're having so much fun, rubber ducky, you're the one. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you and you and you. When we take our bath at night, we have fun, we don't ever fight. Rubber ducky, I love you, and I know you love me too. Rubber ducky, I love you, and I know you love me too. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. I love you, rubber ducky. Yeah, so I have a whole family of these. This is the mama, and I have a lot of smaller ones too. Same with the frogs. So bath time can be another opportunity for learning about your body. But what's really important is I am a dancer, for example. I have been dancing since I was a very small girl. And when you dance is a really great way to develop a sense of not only your body, but the space around you. So there's a thing called personal space. So if we made our space bubble like this, like you're hugging a tree or your mommy, this is the area that is your personal space, nobody else's. And when you dance with other people, it's important to remember that this is personal space. The space all around you in the room or wherever you're dancing is called the general space or shared space. So being aware of oneself and also of other people around you when you're dancing or playing sports or just being with friends is very important. That's an important social, emotional skill to develop with your children. Also, I like to use props sometimes to help children develop this sense of self-regulating. So these are color spots. They're vinyl, so they're washable, but you can make them out of anything round. Also teaches colors and shapes, and use this as a place of starting and stopping when you're playing a game or when you're dancing, or you might want to stand on it and make a statue, right? Freeze dance is an old favorite. There's a lot of things that you can do with this, but also if you have more than one child, it helps them to develop a sense of ownership and self-regulation as well. So speaking of dancing, I always like to share a book in these series. I have a wonderful book here by a dancer called Bill T. Jones, somebody that I worked with in New York. And it's called Dance. And in this book, he's a modern dancer, so that's why he doesn't have any shoes on. But in this book, there's a lot of wonderful pictures that you can share with your child. The author's name is Susan Copeland. And he says, I am a dancer. I want to dance. So they go through a lot of the body parts, how you might move your feet or move your hands. And also using gravity. Yeah, that's another kind of space that I didn't talk about. Outer space. I love outer space. So there's shared space, personal space, and outer space. But it's hard to dance in outer space because there's no gravity. Plus getting there is a problem. Maybe not for much longer. I don't want to go to Mars. So here he is doing some cool stretches. So I usually just use the illustrations in this book to encourage the children to try moving one part at a time, moving his arm, making a straight line with his arm, and then making some curvy lines. It's a wonderful book. And it also shows him jumping through the air and standing and balancing, and also using his face, right? So our face is how we express ourselves through gestures or through expressions, right? Depending on how we're feeling, or if we're excited, or sad, or maybe we're just feeling kind of in the middle of the road. But we use our eyes for seeing. We talked about this in the 5 senses. Our nose for smelling, our mouth for eating and talking and tasting, and our ears for hearing, because listening is very important. So you have to pay attention so that you can listen and follow directions, and always be kind. So those are some things that you can talk about as we're doing our dance activities. There's a song, an old song called the Hokey Pokey song that you can do also with these color spots. So I would say maybe put this one on the floor, and the song is an old standard, kind of goes like this. You put your right hand in, you take your right hand out, you put your right hand in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your left hand in, you take your left hand out, you put your left hand in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Now we're going to do legs and feet. You put your right foot in, you take your right foot out, you put your right foot in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Hey, let's put the left foot in, you take your left foot out. Put your left foot in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. How about our whole self? You put your whole self in, you take your whole self out. You put your whole self in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Woo-hoo! So that's another way of learning body parts, doing songs like that, looking at books together, which is something I always like, or if they're having a nice relaxing bath, you might want to look at the pictures while you're in the tub. It depends on what you like. And last week, I showed you a book by Eric Carle. This is one more thing that I want to share with you. If your child is very young and just likes colorful illustrations, this one's called From Head to Toe. And inside, I like the message because they're all different children who are saying, I can do that whenever they see a certain animal. So you might want to check this one out. Eric Carle is one of my favorite authors for children. He does a lot of really cool stories. But this one is good because it has you can learn about animals, but also see the children have many different expressions on their faces. They're doing different gestures with their hands. And in general, communicating in a physical way. So whatever you're doing, if you can narrate your day and talk about, oh, we're using our hands to eat our breakfast, and our mouth for tasting our breakfast, and our eyes for seeing what it is. Always continue to talk to them, because even if they're not talking yet, they'll be able to understand you, and that's called receptive language, and eventually do their own way of saying the words. So those are a few things that I want to share with you today. And I'm going to sing one more song because now it's time to say goodbye. So we're going to do our steady beat. Now it's time to say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye. Say goodbye, my friends. Wave your hand. Now it's time to wave goodbye. Wave goodbye. Wave goodbye. Now it's time to wave goodbye. Wave goodbye, my friends. Blow a kiss. Now it's time to goodbye. 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 Now it's time to goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. All right. Well, I'm Miss Nanette coming to you from Baby Artsplay and in partnership with the Ogden Museum and Young Audiences of Louisiana. There's a poll if you would like to try it after this is done. But I hope to see you next week. We're going to have an artist, a sculptor named Lynn Emery. It's going to be very cool, really nice. So have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.